耶！今天要去采枫糖浆，要去一个观光枫糖厂参观，非常期待，因为要搭校车去，是小时候看的那种科学怪校车里面的校车，耶！我从来没搭过，所以非常期待。哦，这一区有枫糖模具，还有简单的制作过程介绍，还可以试钻一下枫树。我当然不能钻这么多洞啦。跟大家简单说一下，我从这里学到的知识，原来要看这个树围的大小，决定它能钻几个洞。那最多也只能钻4个洞，因为树它平常是把糖分储存在根部，那因为加拿大很冷嘛，所以它冬天的时候会触发这个根部的糖分往它的茎，就是树干跑，所以这时候人们就可以在它的身上，在树干上面打洞，所以当那个糖分流出来。所以以前的人的经验告诉我们，最多只能打4个洞，为了树的健康着想。那以前加拿大的原住民们呢，他是把树干砍下来，然后把它烧干，然后糖分就会留在这个树干里面，然后他们再把它丢在水里面，那个糖分就会再留在那个水里面，然后再把那个水蒸馏。再近代一点呢，他们就是用打洞的方式，之后再把取出来的树液用加热的方式蒸馏出甜度66%的枫糖浆。
Okay, so welcome to our old-fashioned demonstration or a pioneer demonstration. This is how, obviously, the pioneers would have made maple syrup back in the day. So we are looking at about 1600s, mainly happening more in the 1800s, all the way up into the 1950s. You can still find people today who are making maple syrup this way, the traditional way, but those are people who are, trying to preserve the craft, okay? We have much more modern technology that makes it easier for us to make maple syrup now. Okay, so in my first pot here, my big pot, this is where we put all the fresh sap, all the recently collected sap. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Oh. What does it look like?
Water.
It looks like water, and that's because maple sap, or the sap, is about 97% water. Okay, only 3% sugar. It depends on the type of the maple tree and the time of the season. Okay, so the sugar varies throughout the season and the type of tree. On average, though, it's about 3% to 97%. So I want to cook off as much water as I can in my big pot. It's going to hang out in here for about 8 hours, okay? And then we're going to transfer it to my middle pot here. I'll do a couple pours so you can see. Still looks very watery. If you catch it, though, you might be able to see a little bit of brown or yellow. Yeah. It's kind of like a white tea. A weak tea, there we go. So it's gonna hang out in there for another 8 hours. Okay, before I transfer it to my favorite pot, my finishing pot. If you like what you see, I'd love some oohs and ahs. Here we go. And there we go. Okay, so it is getting darker. It's not quite maple syrup yet. It still has about 6 hours to go left in that pot. In total, though, it'll be 8 hours. So 8 plus 8 plus 8. Someone who's really good at math?
下一站是皮毛，这个是狼，中间的是狐狸，这些是加拿大特有的动物。 然后在右手边是海狸，然后在这个后面那个小屋子上面的是 Raccoon， 臭鼬，天哪 ！Alright， pancake time， 吃松饼配他们的枫糖浆，这么晃是在干嘛？好吃，但其实跟自己在超市买差不多啦。我还自制了寿司便当，
哇，
耶！很轻松的一趟旅行，推荐亲子来，不是太累又可以长知识。好啦，我会把资讯放在下方。那大家如果喜欢这支影片，请记得按赞，然后订阅我的频道。我们下次见，拜拜。